Welcome back to another episode of the Inquisitive Mamba podcast. This is episode 81, a day after Halloween. Max joining me again. Max, how's it going?
Joe, I'm having a fantastic week. I hope you are as well. I'm really happy to be back.
I'm happy to have you back as well. How was your Halloween?
It was fantastic. I dressed up as the Dread Pirate Roberts from the movie The Princess Bride. Not a single person knew what I was, but I had some fun with my friends, so that's all that mattered.
All that mattered. I don't even know what that is, but I would love to see the costume. I didn't even see any pictures of you, so I'm definitely going to need to see some pictures of that costume.
Yeah, they've yet to be posted, Joe. They'll come out soon.
Okay, so
I
what
thought
made
you were Naruto. I didn't know you were a Naruto fan.
I'm not the biggest Naruto fan. When I was younger, I liked him a lot. But, funny story, I really wanted to dress up as Woody. I wanted to dress up as Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was actually like the final straw, but Amazon Prime didn't deliver in time. So I ended up having to go with Naruto. I went to the Spirit Monday night and was kind of like figuring it all out. What am I going to be? What am I going to be? And Naruto, they had the size, and I went with it because most people go with like a pirate costume or like a doctor or like a police officer. And I'm like, I don't want to be that boring. It turns out nobody at work had the costume, so yeah, that's what I went with. I know, I was kind of shocked. I mean, I got some compliments on it. I also, got some like super fans were like, "Did you see this episode? Did you see that episode?" I'm like, nope, didn't see it. Nope, not the biggest fan like that. But I was getting all these people that were like, this episode, did you see that series of this Naruto? I'm like, no. So anyways, yeah,
you might piss off some super fans, Joe. You got to be careful.
I'm sure. I know CJ was he was all about Luffy, one of the anime characters. I know you're a big anime guy. Luffy, yeah, you're a big anime guy.
I wouldn't say I'm nearly as big as our friends CJ and Aaron.
That's true. All right. Well, anyways, I thought it was a pretty cool costume. I kind of pulled it off with the whiskers and stuff. I had the whole headband. Hey, Spirit Man, they make so much freaking money throughout this time of year. It's insane. It's like these last minute people like me always looking for costumes. They were at this time of year.
I swear, yeah.
Oh, it drove me crazy. But you had a good Halloween though?
Yeah, good time, Joe.
What's your favorite Halloween candy? I need to know.
Twizzlers.
Are you a Twizzlers guy?
Yeah, it's my favorite candy. Just from a fundamental standpoint, it's probably the best candy if you stack it up like against the grades.
Twizzlers are the best candy? Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tough one. All right, I'll give you these 5 candies right here. Gummy Bears, Skittles, Reese's, Snickers, and Kit Kats. Which one are you putting number 1? Twizzlers isn't on there, but out of those 5, what's your number 1?
Say the 5 again.
Gummy Bears, Skittles, Reese's, Snickers, and Kit Kats. What's your number 1?
I'm probably going to go Kit Kats, then Reese's, Snickers at the bottom, Skittles number 3.
Okay.
And then the other one was number 4.
Now, all of these are that you're picking are basically you're a big chocolate guy. I can sense.
Yeah, I'm a chocolate fan. I'm not a big peanut fan, so I don't like Snickers for that reason. Gummy bears are just kind of bleh. They're not anything to write home about.
Wow.
Reese's are fine. I'm not a huge peanut butter guy, but I don't mind Reese's.
They gave me like 8.
Kit Kats are one of my favorite chocolate bars.
Kit Kats are pretty good.
You gave me 3 chocolate items out of 5, so like I had to put.
That is true. I mean, I just kind of looked those up online. I didn't really like do all my due diligence of research of what goes what.
Researching your Halloween candy to a greater extent, Joe.
I mean, I could give you some more.
If you spent half as much time on your Halloween candy as you did Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, we haven't even gotten to that part of the show yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming soon.
Oh no, not yet. It's coming during the show, but I haven't said anything yet. All right, are you a candy corn guy?
I do like candy corn. Yeah,
I can't stand candy corn.
Really, I like candy corn a lot.
I think it's right there with Almond Joys as the 2 worst candies there is.
I think you're tripping, Joe.
You like Almond Joys?
No, I do not like Almond Joy.
I don't think anyone does. But you like candy corn. I can never get behind candy corn. I think it's disgusting.
No, it's good.
Ugh, it's all sugary. There's no real flavor to it. Ugh. I don't care for it. I don't care for it. So, Halloween though, did you go out last night or no?
No, I worked. I had a photo booth at a retirement community. So I took pictures of old folks that were, they were all dressed up for their dinner party.
What was your favorite costume out of all the adulties?
I would say probably there was a group of 7 M&Ms, and I think they were into it the most. I think they were my favorite.
Oh, really? The candy M&Ms, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
not M&M, the
yes,
rapper.
not M&M.
Oh, that would have been funny. All right, well, I'm ready to get into the NFL. What a weekend we had. Your Bengals won. They beat the Niners 31-17. How are you feeling about that win?
Joe, I think we're back. I think the
Really?
Bengals are back, and it's a great feeling to see the offense firing on all cylinders. As a Bengals fan, really warms my heart.
Yeah.
As you know, we had a rough first couple weeks, but we really were able to turn it around. And if we can keep that going through Sunday Night Football against the Bills, who have been struggling lately, I think we can do something great.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Mike Hilton, Logan Wilson, Trey Hendrickson. Our defense has been firing on all cylinders as well. Mike Hilton is an absolute dog.
Yes, sir.
So we've been killing it. We finally got Joe Mixon doing something too. It seems like everything that wasn't working at the beginning of the season finally worked in that last game. And if we can do it against the Niners, I think we can do it against anyone.
And I think you can relate to this one or understand where I'm coming from. I think it all just came back down to Joe Burrow's health. I think the team, runs. He's the engine, and you saw on Sunday he looked 100% healthy. He was QB sneaking, QB draw, and he rolled out of the pocket on that one play where he broke out of that 3rd and 10 sack, which was remarkable in the first quarter. Threw it there to I think it was Jamar Chase, right, where he rolled out and he broke away from the sack. But that was a hell of a play. Joe Burrow played exceptional. 4 incompletions. I mean, that was just remarkable. Hell of a game from him. It's cool to see, and you just kind of get to see the difference between Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow on the same stage in a national television game. And Joe Burrow's light years ahead of Purdy. The Bengals looked great. I mean, I don't really think they made any mistakes, minus that one Jamar Chase fumble. But Bengals defense played lights out.
Wasn't Jamar Chase?
I thought it was Chase who fumbled.
Smith.
Oh,
Smith.
I thought it was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, what makes sense.
Irv Smith can kick the bucket. He is the worst tight end in the entire league, and the Bengals decided to not do anything about it. We signed a tight end from our practice squad to replace him, or to at least try to replace him.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try. I mean, I don't know what the Patriots, if they wanted to trade Hunter Henry or not, but I'm sure the Bengals probably called about him. I would have been fine with that.
But the Bengals do not make blockbuster trades. It's just nothing we've ever done, or signings, ever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, that was a hell of a game.
The biggest free agent signing we've had in my lifetime is like Terrell Owens at the end of his career, and that oh my god, who was the offensive tackle that we signed last year?
Oh, Orlando Brown Jr. from the Chiefs.
No. The other one.
La'el Collins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. We
haven't had any big signings.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for years, I guess you could say they were a small market team, but now, I mean, they're slowly getting on the map.
Yep.
I mean, some people would say otherwise because they had Carson Palmer, Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, TJ Hughes-Manzada. I mean, they've had pieces in the past, but market-wise, I wouldn't, compare them as one of the big markets.
At a whole other level after that. Yeah. We were nowhere in the 2000s, even when we were pretty good.
Honestly, though. But Bills this weekend, that's going to be a hell of a game. Oh, my goodness, I can't wait for that one. There's going to be a lot at stake there, a lot of high emotions, especially with the whole DeMar Hamlin stuff last year. And the Bengals are getting hot. The Bills are, like you said, kind of struggling. So it's going to be a great game. Burrow versus Josh Allen again. That's going to be a great game. I'm excited for that one. It's in Cincinnati, too.
I know. It's going to be a great game. I'd love to be there.
I know, right? Freezing your ass off. How about that Eagles-Commanders game, though? The tush push. The Commanders, a team, finally stopped it. How about that? I was just blown away by it. But
if a team can stop it, the rule book does not need to be there.
Right? Agreed. 100%. Hell of a game, though. A.J. Brown, though. Woo, how about that history for him? 5th straight game with over 125 receiving yards. Gosh, that was unbelievable. He had a hell of a game.
Unbelievable.
With his 8-catch, 130-yard and 2-touchdown performance, first wideout in NFL history to record at least 6 straight games. I mean, that's just remarkable. Did you see the one-handed catch in the end zone, though, he had?
I missed that, Joe.
Oh, my gosh. I was watching it, actually, at a sports bar. I don't usually leave my house on Sundays, but my dad visited this weekend, so we decided to head on down to a sports bar and watch the game. And I was like, yep, there it goes. I look at my phone, I look at my watch. It already got clipped, and it was already online. It was just a hell of a catch, dude. He is just playing lights out. I mean, he's playing right there with any other receiver as top receiver in the NFL. I mean, Tyreek Hill would definitely make a case there for sure, but he's just been remarkable. I still don't know how the Titans let him go. I still think to myself, I don't know what the Titans were doing, just letting him go like that.
Yeah, the Titans are their GM needs to be questioned.
Very much so, and then they also gave the Eagles Kevin Byard last week as well. Two of the Titans' best players. Like, just when you think to yourself, you're like, man, the Eagles, they're legit for sure. So how about that Vikings Packers game? The storyline of that game was Kirk Cousins' Achilles injury.
Yeah,
I was scratching my head. I was watching the highlights of the game. I didn't really catch a lot of the games this weekend because I was mostly focused on the Pats and the Dolphins game, which the Pats lost, but I was gearing up for that Chargers-Bears game, the game we went to at SoFi, which was a hell of a time. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, when I was watching the highlights, I saw the play and I was like, this just gives me flashbacks from a few weeks ago or just about 2 months ago when Aaron Rodgers had the Achilles pop. And I was like, yep, you can just see the injury and you're just like, yeah, man, that's just brutal. So the Vikings were kind of getting hot too. And Kirk Cousins was playing really well.
Well, they've signed a new quarterback, so hopefully
your favorite, Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs can do something about it. He has been terrible this season.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they expect to do with him.
Well, I know people on Twitter, or they like to call it, I know it's called X now, but I like to call it Twitter, and that's what I'm sticking with. They were wanting Mac Jones to go to the Vikings, and no, I'm glad that the Vikings didn't trade, or the Patriots weren't going to take calls for Mac Jones.
So what do you think about this?
Reevaluate. What's up?
What do you think about Tom Brady coming out of retirement to go to the Vikings?
No, Tom Brady's cushy. He's feeling comfortable in Miami. No, he's not leaving. He's getting ready up. He's gearing up for Fox next year. Why would Tom Brady come out of retirement to go to the Vikings? No.
Yeah, why not? I think it sounds fun.
No, I don't see that.
No.
What
if Brett Favre comes back out of retirement? one last ride with the Vikings.
No, that guy's got too many scandals up his way right now. I think he's dealing with too many legal issues at the moment. But no, Tom Brady's not coming out of retirement to go to the Vikings. Come on now.
All right, we'll see. Let the viewers decide.
No, Tom Brady is not coming out of retirement to go to the Vikings.
All right, Joe.
What, you really think that? Come on now. You and I both know that's not happening. But how about this though? I saw this one. The Bengals won 31-17, and the Patriots also lost 31-17. Both of us on the same podcast right now, on the same show, with both of our teams playing in the same weekend with the exact same score, even though your team won. I gotcha. But I just thought that was pretty cool.
What are the odds, Joe? Probably like 1 in 2.
50%.
1 in 3.
6. No. What's one?
You're talking to Aaron right now. Oh no.
1 in 3. I don't know. Anyways, so what's our questions? What was our questions that we wanted to get into? Because I'm ready.
Get those up for you.
Pull them up.
Yeah, let me get those up for you. Here we go.
All right.
Question from Austin Peck. What are your thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa never having lost a game to the Patriots?
What are my thoughts on Tua Tagovailoa never losing to the Patriots? I think it's a remarkable stat, but also at the end of the day, I think it kind of goes back to the team and the players around him. Yes, Tua has had a great year. I'm not going to discredit that, but also he does have, good pieces around him. So it's pretty remarkable being 6-0 against Belichick, especially as a young quarterback like Tua. It's remarkable. I like it a lot. It's cool.
It sounds like Peck knew that you were going to say that because he followed that up with highlight the fact that he also did it with guys like Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki.
Interesting, because both of those players are on the Patriots now. That's so funny. And Devontae Parker got hurt this past week. He went out with a concussion. I'm kind of concerned about Devontae Parker. He might have to retire earlier than expected. I mean, he hasn't really done much in the last 2 years or so, but still, I mean, he's had it rough these past, especially with this past concussion too. So that's a good question there. I appreciate that one. What's our next one?
I don't have any other questions yet. I'm gathering from the crowd.
Okay, fair. All right, so we were talking about the Vikings and the Packers leading up to Kirk Cousins' Achilles injury. That's a tough one there to swallow. I definitely think the Vikings should bring back Kirk Cousins next year. Maybe he'll hit the open market, but especially with that Achilles injury, I think he should go back to the Vikings. He's 35 years old, but that's kind of how I'm feeling right now with that whole one there. I'm waiting for some more questions, and we are going to let's stick on the Patriots and the Dolphins. So the Dolphins won 31-17. Tyreek Hill had another amazing performance. He had 1,000 yards. Oof, man. He's watching him is just I don't even know. I don't even know how to put it into words. He's just a nightmare out there. He had that touchdown late at the end of the game. It was a good game for most of it. I mean, the Patriots just couldn't do anything on third down. The Dolphins were great on third down. They were stopping them left and right there. So, but Dolphins fans were excited because Jalen Ramsey had that interception. That was a great play by him. I don't know. I mean, everyone was like, well, should Mac Jones have thrown it? Ramsey made a great play on the ball. I mean, he's a ball hawk. We've all known that. That's why he's an all-pro corner. So, did you catch any of that game?
I did not. I saw highlights.
You saw highlights. What game did you watch this weekend besides the Bengals and the Niners? Did you catch any of the other games?
Yeah, all the 4:30 games.
Oh, Cardinals, Ravens, Bengals, Niners, Seahawks, Browns.
Yeah, the AFC North did all right.
Yeah.
The Browns fortunately lost. What do you think about the Browns and their rapist quarterback Deshaun Watson and how they've been performing?
Well, I'm going to discredit that first part of the sentence there, but how the Browns have been performing.
Do you think they miss him? Do you think they need him back?
Well, I mean, PJ Walker has been good for them, but I mean, Deshaun Watson wasn't doing the greatest when he was out there, but I mean, going into the rest of the season, I would definitely think you would rather have Deshaun Watson than PJ Walker, but that's just me. Their defense is really good. I mean, PJ he's getting the job done. I mean, it was a close game there with Seattle. Seattle's a good team as well. Always a tough time to win, to go into an environment like Seattle, 12th man, tough road environment. So I think you're going to need Deshaun Watson back getting later into the season. You still have some divisional games there, some more tough opponents. I don't know the rest of their schedule, but I'm sure it's not going to be easy. So they just traded away Donovan Peoples-Jones, a receiver of theirs. They still have Amari Cooper. They have Elijah Moore. The run game's pretty solid, even though they brought back Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford. But we'll see. I don't know. It just all depends on Deshaun Watson's health. Can he get healthy? What's the deal? What's going on here? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Are they on a bye week or are they playing this week?
I'm not sure about the Browns.
I would have to look that one up. I'm curious to know if Deshaun Watson, when he's coming back, but let's just see when the Browns play.
Backup quarterbacks. What do you think about
Browns play the Cardinals? Browns play the Cardinals this week. That should be a win. Go ahead.
Backup quarterbacks. What do you think about Aiden O'Connell stepping up for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, I like that one a lot, and we haven't even gotten into the Raiders yet. They're an absolute dumpster fire. We all know that, but I would have rather liked to see Aiden O'Connell start prior when they brought in Brian Hoyer, because Jimmy G got hurt against the Patriots. I would have liked to see him get thrown in there previously. So I'm actually all for it. I thought he had a pretty good preseason. It'll be cool to see kind of some fresh blood there. They actually just fired Josh McDaniels. They They hired Antonio Pierce as their interim head coach. He's a former Giants player. He was getting the locker room going this morning and getting everyone fired up. So fresh blood, I think it's awesome. It'll be cool to see. It would really be cool to see if Aiden O'Connell can establish that connection with Davante Adams, get Hunter Renfrow back on the same page, see if they can get their ground game going. So I'm excited to see it. It'll be cool because I know Victor and him are really good friends, and it's always cool to see a friend of yours, friends in the NFL. So I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be cool. The Raiders play who this week? They play the Giants. Yes, that's actually a kind of cool storyline.
Do you think the Raiders will ever be good at football, or do you think they're doomed for hell for the rest of their entire existence?
Vegas is becoming a market where it's slowly becoming a hotspot. Of course, obviously you have the entertainment, you have the nightlife. The Super Bowl is going to be there this year. I really think it kind of goes back to the ownership, especially with Mark Davis. He hasn't really done a great job there. They've had 8 head coaches his entire time that have been fired since he's been there. So it starts at the the top of the realm. Really remains to be seen, and we'll see what O'Connell can bring to the table for them. And I mean, they have pieces. Not like they don't have pieces. No, they're not the most star-studded team, but it just kind of goes back to the ownership at that point. And they're in a tough division too. I mean, the Chargers and the Chiefs are no slouch. So we'll see, kind of how that can play out for them. But if O'Connell's not the answer, I'm sure they'll be drafting a quarterback. But I don't know if there's really a whole lot of pressure on Aiden O'Connell too. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of just go out there and see what you can do for us, because we don't look like we're going to be winning anything anytime soon. But we'll see.
Yo, who do you think comes out of the AFC North? I know the Ravens, they won a game, but they really only squeezed by one touchdown game against the Cardinals. A game that the Bengals won handily.
I'm going to write off the Steelers and the Browns right off the moment. The Steelers have a good defense, but I don't trust.
Talking about the the Raiders, I think the Browns may be destined for an eternity of pain and suffering. They made the biggest signing of quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and he turned out to be the big piece of shit that we know him to be, and a terrible football player on top of that. So I think they've got it really bad, and not to say Nick Chubb's injury really did not help. The Steelers, as we know, have been nothing since Ben Roethlisberger has been gone, and they've struggled to get stuff going. They had a loss last week, so yeah, I think you're right to say the Bengals and the Ravens. So who do you think comes out of it?
For me, it's so tough. I love the Bengals and how they play in late game situations. I think they're coached so well, but John Harbaugh is a great coach for the Ravens as well. So I think for me, it's just going to come down to injuries. Can the Ravens stay healthy? Can they sustain this play? How will Lamar play for the rest of the year? I mean, we know what Joe Burrow brings to the table, but I just think it's going to be very neck and neck with those two teams.
I don't know if
it's so close. I don't know if I can't put a finger on it yet.
The NFL can beat the Bengals if we play like we did against the Niners.
No, like, I mean you played exceptional football. You executed perfectly.
Yeah, if you've got Joe Burrow who's missing 4 passes all game and he's just picking away at you the whole night, like he's
just picking
7 yards every time he throws the ball, you're just guaranteed 7 yards. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah, and well, the thing that too is from opening gate, how they came out rolling. I mean, that opening drive, I feel like established the entire game. I mean, that put a stamp right there just to start the game. So, no, you're 100% right. And the
even
Bengals
with the Irv Smith fumble, which I thought would have destroyed us, we were still able to stay in the game.
Well, that Jermaine Pratt interception too, that Purdy kind of rolled out. He tried to throw the screen, and it didn't work, and Pratt made a hell of a play there. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the Bengals are a tough team, and they're just exceptional on the road as well. They're not fazed by the big lights, and I think it goes back to their quarterback. And a lot of people may call me crazy here, but Joe Burrow is not as accomplished as this player. But I've always said this to you. I get Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, I put them in the same sentence. How clutch Joe Burrow is in late game situations, what he's able to do with the ball late. I've seen it week in and week out. You've seen it in the AFC Championship. You've seen it in the divisional round. You saw it in the Super Bowl. You know, they didn't have the greatest offensive line, but just that he gives me that Tom Brady similar feel of how good he is in late game situations. He doesn't fold. The lights aren't too big for him. And I love Joe Burrow. And I mean, you can sit here and compare logistics and analytics. Well, one's a mobile quarterback, one's not, but just Joe Burrow's IQ is just off the charts. And even with not even the best offensive line, just how smart he is in the pocket. He knows where the receivers are at all times. He knows how to manipulate the defense. He's special, man. He's the mechanics are there. Everything is there for Joe Burrow. And it's so good to see now that he's finally fully healthy, right? Because you were nervous in the beginning of the season. How serious is this calf injury? What's it going to be? Are the Bengals going to get robbed of a season because Burrow's not fully healthy? T. Higgins is up for contract extension next year, if they're going to sign him or not. But now we get to see on full display, this is the team that you've been waiting for since week 1, and Burrow's finally healthy. So I'm excited.
Likewise.
Anyways, Cowboys-Eagles this weekend. That's going to be a hell of a game. I'm excited for that one because the Eagles have been tested, but this weekend they're going to be really tested. It's in Philly. That's going to be a hell of a game. I can't wait to see. Micah Parsons actually said, he was like, let's pack the link with all Cowboys fans. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's going to be a hell of a game. So, yeah, because the Cowboys steamrolled the Rams. But let's talk about the Raiders because this is one that's been on my finger here. We talked about the Raiders actually a few weeks ago when they played the Packers on Monday Night Football, and Josh McDaniels had the controversial 4th down. Should he have kicked the field goal? Should he have gone for it? Well, now you see in the bright lights that he's no longer part of the organization, and Mark Davis just had enough after last night. It's weird because they're only 3-5. I thought they would have potentially waited till the end of the season to fire Josh McDaniels, but
yeah, there must have been some internal stuff to have him go 3-5. 100%. Like, he was obviously not well liked.
No,
like, there's plenty of coaches that make it past 3-5. You have 100%. To really do something to get booted at that point.
I don't know. You know, we're not in the organization, but just looking in from the outside, just the Davante Adams when he's slamming his helmet on the sideline because Jimmy G missed him on the pass there, and like I just think it was a domino effect. But also at the same time too with the GM and the owner, all of those decisions in the offseason go through the GM and the owner, right? So Jimmy G, the signing of Jimmy G, the trade for Davante Adams, like all these pieces, these people in the organization have known about these too. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was a really early firing, but I guess they didn't want things to get out of control, or
I think
any more out of control than it is.
To shut down your head coach and your quarterback in the same
Right.
week, an insane thing to do, though. That is just a wild move. Like,
I agree.
who's supposed to keep it together? You've got a rookie, Aiden O'Connell, who is, I mean, he looked good in the preseason, but he's
Right.
played like what, half of one game.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna. I mean, it'd be a miracle if he could turn
Right.
things around like Brock Purdy did last year. Not Brock Purdy didn't turn anything around, but he held it together. I'd imagine Aiden O'Connell is not going to make them a playoff team.
And no, and they're, like you said, they're in a tough division as well. But I mean, it was interesting to see, because also a lot of Patriots players followed Josh McDaniels to the Raiders. I mean, you had Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Myers, Hoyer, Brandon Bolden, Adam Butler, Justin Herron, and Jakob Johnson. I mean, those were all former Patriots players. So they were buying into McDaniels' culture. They're still on the team, of course, and McDaniels is gone. But also, Josh McDaniels is still under contract, so the Raiders will still have to pay out the remaining part of his contract. So it's a mess.
They're
in
still
Vegas.
paying John Gruden.
Yeah, exactly. They're still paying Josh Gruden. My thing here, though, too, is Davante Adams, right? What's up?
John Gruden or Josh Gruden?
No, it's John Gruden. It's John Gruden. My thing here with Davante Adams, this is a big part here, right? So I understand both sides of the coin, right? Davante Adams wanted to be traded to the Raiders because the Packers didn't want to pay him, and he was really looking forward to playing with his college teammate and Derek Carr, and now he's stuck with Jimmy G. But also at the same time, like, he's causing a fit on the sidelines. He's all upset, and yeah, because he's so used to having a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers giving him the ball, being arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Well, you knew what you signed up for, right? Like, also at the same time on that side, it's sometimes that's how it happens. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. You wanted to get traded there because you got paid. You have to stick with it. You have to live with it. Sometimes that's how it is. I'm sorry. Like, he's causing a fit on the sideline. You knew what you signed up for. You could have requested a trade this offseason. I don't know if they would have granted it to you. Maybe he requested a trade yesterday or last night or before the deadline, and it'll come out later, but he knew what he signed up for. So I don't feel bad for him. And when you're making that kind of money in the NFL, I don't feel bad for a receiver like that. You'll be okay.
It's funny to see this modern age of guys that want to chase the greener grass every offseason, and like them actually reaping what they sow. Sometimes it goes bad, and it's not good to see as a fan, but they kind of deserve it, because the culture shouldn't be like that. Like, gone are the days of like Megatron spending 10 years on a losing team.
Yeah.
Like, you won't see that. So now everyone wants to chase their own personal glory. So to see it go wrong is kind of, like you said, they deserve it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it may sound harsh, and you may sound like a harsh critic, and you're just sound like an old man, you're beating a dead horse, but I mean, he knew what he signed up for. I mean, I think these NFL players now, they see what happens in the NBA, and they say, oh, well, I can do that. James Harden does that, or this player requests a trade, I can do that. They're trying to put that culture into the NFL where it's not like that. Like, it's a total different situation. So I don't really feel bad for him, though, but yeah, I mean, the Raiders are a dumpster fire, and we'll see what they can do against the Giants on Sunday. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I mean, they'll probably win against the Giants, because the Giants aren't very good. And we don't even know the health of Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor went out against the Jets, and that game was, oh my gosh, that game was hard to watch. I didn't even catch all of it. It was that bad. It was, Zach Wilson almost blew it. They got the ball back in overtime. They kicked the winning field goal. I think Tommy DeVito, the Giants quarterback, had like 10 passing yards that entire game. It was crazy. So, but
so who do you think is the so we know that the AFC North is the best division in the league. Who do you think is the second best division in the league?
Who do I think the second best division in the NFL is?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously Aaron Rodgers isn't back yet, so I mean, you could, but I mean, oof.
You can't have the AFC East. They've got the Patriots. The Patriots are terrible.
Well, the Bills, the Dolphins, and I mean, the Jets have a good defense, but that's a head scratcher right there, because you got the NFC East with the Cowboys, the Eagles. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, you got the NFC West with the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners. I don't know. That's a tough one.
You know who beat all of the NFC West? The Bengals did.
Yeah, they beat yes, they did.
All 4 teams.
Yeah, I that's a hard one for a second
I'm looking
division.
at the records right now. The best records overall, it looks like the AFC West and the AFC South. Second only to the AFC North, obviously. The AFC North is the only winning record across
the AFC West is the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. Yeah.
It looks like
I'm sorry,
Broncos,
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, that's a hard number too. I mean, a lot of those teams could really make a case there because you got the Eagles and the Cowboys.
The AFC East, the top 3 teams all have winning records, so maybe the AFC East.
Yeah, I mean, because the Bills are good, the Dolphins are good.
No one in the NFC has the 3 teams with the winning record.
No, because the Jets just beat the Giants. Yes, I mean that would make sense.
I mean, AFC East is probably second best. You're probably right.
That's fair. Did you see the storyline of Tyreek Hill and how? Did you see the clip of how he signed with the Dolphins? He got traded there, the money and all that. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I like that one a lot. The Chiefs actually offered him $58 million in guarantees, but it wasn't enough. So then his agent suggested the trade. Actually, it was really the Jets offered him $76 million, and he was like teetering back and forth. And then his mom stepped into play and said, "Hey, how about that state tax? There's no state tax in Miami." And then you had it there. So he's putting up record numbers as well. So this Chiefs Dolphins game this weekend is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Joe, we gotta before we go, we gotta talk about Taylor Swift.
Oh, I'm just getting into that.
All the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Halloween costumes.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. I wrote that down. I thought it was kind of cool. How many did you see? I saw a couple. I listened to New Heights this morning.
Don Lemon and his fiance. As Joe. Oh no, that was that was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Different people.
Oh my gosh, you got completely mixed up.
Glenn Howerton and his wife were Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
We also saw who was it? It was a basketball player. Oh, it was
DeAndre Jordan dressed up as Taylor Swift. Yeah, Travis Kelce. He did like a mix with the wig, the hair. Oh, hey, you wear nice wigs. You should have done that.
You think I'm a good wig? I wear good wigs. Yes. Oh, Mitt Romney, Joe, representing.
Oh God.
Yeah, he representing the right. Said had Travis Kelce along with his wife as Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah, they look just like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce if they aged 150 years.
Okay, all right. Well, you asked for it, so we're going to talk a little bit about Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. Well, the Chiefs and the Broncos played, and the Broncos won 24-9. But the storyline for me of that game, Patrick Mahomes flew. Travis Kelce went to Game 1 of the World Series. This one here, as soon as I saw that, I was like, why is he at Game 1 of the World Series? Like, you have a game on Sunday. I think that's such a bad look for the NFL, for the MLB. Like, minus the Taylor Swift, the Travis Kelce, the whole drama, you're still an NFL football player. I thought that was crazy that he was at Game 1 of the World Series and he was like partying, drinking champagne, singing Taylor Swift's song Love Story, like in the club. I just was blown away by that. Like, I just think it's such a bad look because like you're still playing in the NFL. You got a game on Sunday. And of course they lost. And I wasn't the only person that said that. Actually, Chiefs legend or former player Ken Lowry was extremely upset about it too. He's like, Travis is a phenomenal tight end, but that's such a bad look, especially for the other players in the team. Like, yes, you guys have had a winning record all these years, but it's just not a good look to be doing that. Like, I don't know, just one night you're in Texas and the next time you're in, Denver for the game. Like, I just thought it was a really bad look, especially since they lost. But I don't know. I just think it was a really bad look. So what did you think about that?
No, I mean, I think Travis Kelce's probably getting too much flack for it. I don't know. He's not solely responsible for their loss.
Right.
Obviously, like their defense is allowing 24 points to the Broncos. That should be definitely be saying something. And Mahomes throwing 2 picks to put the ball in Russell Wilson's hands. I mean, I don't think anyone should care about Russell Wilson having the ball, but apparently the Chiefs defense did.
Yeah, I just think it was a major distraction. I mean, why are you at Game 1 of the World Series? Like, I mean, you can do all that stuff on your bye week, like that's fine, but you're still in the NFL season. Like, you got a game for Sunday. Like, I just thought it was extremely bad look to be in Texas for Game 1 of the World Series, and then
I think it's
I don't know. I just thought it was
comical.
bad luck.
I think it's comical how much Sean Payton doesn't even trust Russell Wilson. Like in a winning game, he only threw the ball 19 times, and Javonte Williams had 27 carries for 85 yards. He didn't do like 85 yards on 27 carries is absolutely abysmal.
Yep.
But Russell Wilson was able to throw 3 touchdowns on his 12 completions. So that's I don't know.
The Chiefs' loss against the Broncos was the first loss since 2015.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I thought
Russell Wilson should retire by the end of next week. So
you hate Russell Wilson.
I hate Russell Wilson. He's a fraud.
Before we do wrap up, I wanted to talk about the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight. Did you watch that?
Oh my God, Francis Ngannou! I am a Tyson Fury fan, like through and through. I love Tyson Fury. I'm an Englishman, as you can tell by my accent. So I back Tyson Fury to the end. He did not win that fight whatsoever.
Hell no.
Absolutely. No. Francis Ngannou got absolutely robbed. The Vegas called like they
yes.
The pick was in.
I don't know how Tyson Fury won that fight over Francis Ngannou. He knocked him down in the 3rd round. Like I didn't even understand that one bit.
Tyson
I was like,
nothing.
Tyson did nothing. Fight. He just like danced around the entire time. Francis put up a hell of a fight. He's not even a boxer.
He looked like one.
Yeah,
I'm old for the heavyweight belt soon if he keeps performing like that.
I was blown away that performance. I was just like, there is no way that Tyson Fury won this fight against Ngannou. Like, there's no way. Everybody even agreed with that too. Like, I don't even know how the judges even came to the decision they came with. They came up with. Excuse me.
That was insane.
How about this one here, though? Selena Gomez thinks Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship is a major distraction, and it's that she's concerned about her friend because of Travis Kelce's a football player, and she's never been with a football player like this, and she's going on all these crazy, adventures and all this crazy stuff. So what do you think about that? Because I think that was pretty interesting.
What was her quote? What did she say?
Selena thinks Taylor going to games and gallivanting through New York immediately after just meeting Travis is something that is very unlike her, a source recently told Page 6. Most of her recent relationships with actor Joe Alwyn and Maddie Healy stayed mostly under the radar, meaning Taylor Swift is an under the radar type person. She's not super flashy. So I'll
tell you what was happening.
What's up?
Taylor Swift was receiving a lot of flack for her ticket sale thing where all the Eras Tour tickets were going sky high.
Yeah.
And then also for being the most polluting individual in the entire history of the planet Earth. So when you take those two things together, you need to figure out something to give yourself public favor. What do? You get one of the most well-liked football players in the entire United States to date you. And then you show up in the box in every one of his games and have people talk about your relationship and forget that you've killed every single tree on the planet Earth, and also
the balloons. What the hell?
Also stolen trillions of dollars from all of your hardworking fans. And that's how you get public favor.
The Swifties are going to come after you so hard on this one, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Like, you're going to be put in Swiftie jail like bad. Like bad. Like bad.
Joe, this is just the reality of what's going on. You need to come if you're in the bad public eye, you need to turn it around, and she did exactly that. It's all a publicity stunt.
You don't even really think they're dating then?
No.
Man, you're really I really like this side that you took on this one, because from before you didn't really open up too much about this, and now I'm starting to really hear about your thoughts about this whole Travis Kelce.
Really going on, Joe. She's right. She's usually not so public about her relationship. So
that is true.
Turn that around and be in boxes at national televised events. I've never seen Taylor Swift in a national, like, besides like the Grammys or the CMAs. Like she's not one to be like very public.
I've never seen her on a podcast.
She's not on interviews. Nope. Like she doesn't have to speak, so she can't fuck anything up. She's just on screen laughing and smiling next to the pedophile Jackson Mahomes and the wife of Patrick Mahomes. And all she has to do is smile and wave, and everyone forgets that she is destroying the planet one plane trip at a time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see.
And they continue to give her all of their hard-earned money for nosebleeds to a terrible concert.
How's Travis Kelce going to play this week against the Dolphins? We'll see. No Taylor Swift in attendance. No, she's not, because she's on tour. She starts her tour November 9th in South America. So we'll see how she plays. We'll see how he plays.
And she's gonna something up, and she's gonna come back to use Travis Kelce for good publicity.
You think so?
I know so, Joe.
All right. Well, one last thing I wanted to talk about. James Harden. Oh my goodness, Max. He finally got to the Clippers. They finally caved. I mean,
Joe, how many times have we seen?
Oh my gosh.
How many times have we seen superstars join up where they trade away all of their depth to get a superstar back on the team to make a trio of superstars?
Yep.
And how many times does it work?
None.
We've seen it happen 15 times in the last 10 years. Or
the thing with
years. Started with well, for example, James Harden to the Clippers or to the Sixers was one of them.
Yep.
We had
James Harden to the Nets.
We had Russell Westbrook and to the Rockets with Harden.
Yep.
We had
Russell Westbrook to the Lakers.
Yeah. We had all of it. None of it works, and they just trade away all their depth. We saw the Nets, the Nets. That was the prime example. The Nets, although they destroyed their entire team for their trades.
Yep.
And most famously, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett to the Nets. They did that.
Yes.
They started it in 2010, and it was like that didn't work out. We see it time and time again.
Yep.
Where they try to do this, trade away the depth for some stars, and it never works. And I don't know what GMs don't see that we see.
I don't even understand the whole James Harden thing, right? Because he showed up to the game and he was basically wanting the trade, and it didn't work out this offseason in the summer. Like James Harden is the biggest diva, I think, on the planet. I thought it was Kyrie Irving for the longest time. It's James Harden by a mile. And then they showed the video of him being reunited with Russell Westbrook. Everything's okay for the Clippers because James Harden's back with Russell Westbrook and he's wanted to play with Paul George and Kawhi. It's like he has pulled a heist with trades. I just can't believe it. I think it's remarkable. It's mind-blowing. It's like somebody might need to take notes from James Harden on how to get that job that you've been wanting all your life, because this guy is a master. He's
they're going to win 38 games, and it's going to be a failure. Kawhi Leonard's going to play like 70 games. James Harden's going to play 60 games. Paul George is going to play 50 games, and we're going to see an absolute catastrophic blow-up of the entire Clippers. The Clippers they're doomed.
Yes.
For absolute failure at all times.
Yep, they're a first-round exit waiting to happen.
What GM, after seeing every other trade did not work, thinks I need to trade away all my depth for a star?
They didn't trade away a lot of their depth, but still, the point is James Harden is a guy who wants to play one night, the next night he wants to take it off, and putting him in LA, oh my gosh, this place, oh goodness gracious. I still can't. Hey, this is where he wanted to play, but this is where he wanted to play a few years ago when he was same situation when he was on the Sixers to the Nets, and it's like the NBA is its own reality TV show. The Kardashians have their own reality TV show. The NBA ranks higher than them because what James Harden and these players do, it's just mind blowing. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, yep, here we go. James Harden to the Clippers. This is what he's wanted. So let's see.
It's like, what is the point? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't even know how NBA GMs like approve these trades like this. Like, oh, like you just grant your wish. This is what happens. Like it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. Oh, nope. You want to go there? Well, there you go. Oh, I'm not happy here. I'll just request out and they'll just trade me. It's like the NBA has become so soft, man. It's a star-driven league. And like I said, it goes back to the Davante Adams point earlier in the show. The NFL players see what the NBA players do and they all talk and they're trying to do the exact same thing. It's nothing new. And the NBA they haven't put their foot down on it and they allow it. It's like, it goes back to when David Stern vetoed Chris Paul to the Lakers, but now they allow these trades. NBA has become so soft. They're about the brand and the stars. They don't care about the rebuilds and the teams trying to win it's like it's
all about the stars. It's about the rich making the rich richer and the poor poorer.
Yep, exactly. The rich get richer,
enriching the top teams, and just forgetting about the likes of the Wizards and the Grizzlies.
Did you see? Yeah, the Nuggets are a prime example there. They've kind of built up there. Did you see flipping away from the NBA for a second? Did you see the UCLA Colorado game? Travis Hunter's 2 picks, but the storyline of that game was Shilo Sanders got ejected for the targeting call. Did you see that play?
I did not see that play.
This one here, you would really like to see. If you got to have to watch this one back later. Shilo Sanders basically hit the receiver. It showed with his shoulder, and he hit him with his shoulder, but they still called crown of the helmet for some odd reason. And Deion Sanders was just irate and was like, "You can't call that." Like,
I did see this.
It's become so soft.
I think it was Gronk commented on it and said, "No, I wouldn't want to be hit anywhere else in this play. Like, you go lower, you're going to injure my legs. You hit you right in the chest."
Yeah, he literally, Shilo Sanders directly led with his shoulder, and they called targeting on that. As soon as that play happened, I was like, "Oh, here the refs go. They're going to review targeting on this play."
Yeah, that is a terrible call.
I'm just waiting for the targeting in college football to where it really affects the game, like a college football playoff game. Damn it, that's what I forgot to mention. Yes, the college football playoff rankings came out, and FSU was 4. I wrote that down in my notes. I briefly wanted to talk about college football in the rankings. Ohio State's 1, Georgia's 2, Michigan's 3, Florida State's 4, followed by Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss. So what did you think of those college football rankings? I'll give you my thoughts after you give me yours.
Joe, I've told you time and time again, I'm just waiting for all the cards to fall apart with FSU. I can't believe they're good.
Yeah.
I don't even believe it. As an FSU fan that only started becoming an FSU fan in 2017, I'm just geared up for failure. So I'm ready for them to fall from grace at any moment.
These four make the most sense to me. You know, some people would say, why is Ohio State 1? Why is Georgia 2? Why shouldn't Georgia be 1? Well, Ohio State has the resume right now. They beat Penn State and they beat Notre Dame, so it does make sense. Is Ohio State the best team in the country? No, Ohio State is not the best college football team in the country. Let's get that straight. I think everybody knows that. Ohio State is not the best. I would put that with Georgia for right now. We'll see Georgia this week, though. They've got a tough game coming up here against Missouri in the rest of their season. I think there's a couple games left. So
you think Michigan will even be allowed in the college football playoff?
That's another thing about the whole sign stealing scandal. They're going to put them in. They're going to sweep that away until the end of the season. They didn't even let it affect this one. They're 3 right now, so I don't even really think they care.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm really glad because now we get to see the rankings and where teams really are, because the AP poll is great, but this is what we really get to see. And that's another thing too about the college football playoff rankings. Nobody's ever going to be happy. Every fan is always going to be upset because my team should be higher, this team should be lower. The committee, I don't think, is ever going to get it right fully. It's just the way it is. Some people will say, well, Ohio State shouldn't be 1. They haven't really, yes, their strength of schedule, the 2 teams they've played that they beat, they're both ranked, but they haven't been that impressive. Georgia should be 1, SEC this, SEC that. Michigan should be 1 because they've dominated all their games. Let's see how it plays out for the rest of the season. We'll see when Ohio State plays Michigan. We'll see if Georgia can stay undefeated. So
I don't understand the AP poll and the mid-season rankings. Like, it doesn't matter until the end of the season anyway.
Exactly.
They have preseason rankings for what? It's like predicting what? Like, they've accomplished nothing. They should leave the rankings for the end. I guess it's nice to look at, but it doesn't. It literally means nothing. No one looks back and says, "Well, remember when we were ranked number 4 in the middle of the season?"
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, the thing too is they go back and they look at when they played each other for strength of schedule or like ranking wise at the end. But yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree with that. But we'll see this weekend when LSU plays Alabama, because Alabama's kind of creeping up. They're 8th, of course. If Alabama wins out, the committee will do everything in their power to put them in, like how this happened last year when Alabama didn't get in because they had 2 losses. The Alabama last year lost to Tennessee and LSU. Yes, they lost both. Yes, they lost to Tennessee because it was in Rocky Top, and they lost to LSU because of the crazy 2-point conversion. I remember that last year. So Alabama will kind of be in the same situation, but we'll see this week when they play LSU. That's going to be a hell of a game. I'm excited for that one. I think that does it for us. What do you say?
Yes, sir, Joe. It's another great week. I can't wait to see you back here next week.
I'm excited. Yes, sir. We have a good weekend of college football coming up. Good games of NFL this weekend, and we will see you guys next time. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast. We just hit 300 subscribers on there. Apple Podcast, the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast. Spotify, the Inquisitive Mamba Podcast. We'll see you next time.